Rollerblading wheels are very expensive nowadays, and I'm on the hunt to find the cheapest but also the best kind of wheel for your buck. Now, did I find one today in the kind of pour that I want? Maybe. When you're like me and you break wheels a lot, you always look for the cheapest but also the best option for wheels. I was on the hunt for a Super Bullet wheel. If you notice, the Undercover Super Bullet wheels at this moment are between $59 and $60 a set. And at the time when I bought them originally, they were about $29.99. So for me to want to go relive that experience, I decided to look around and see if I could find a similar option but for a way cheaper price. And after asking a lot of my subscribers and asking people to write what they like in the comments, I landed on this little option. So is it the best for the price? Is it as good or better than the other options? Find out. So after breaking the eulogy, I was already searching for a new Super Bullet wheel because I knew that was the profile I liked and I wanted to try what the newer options were. But upon seeing that most of the Undercover wheels were $59 a set of 4, that was a little too extreme for me. So I decided to go down the rabbit hole and see who made some new wheels and who had a kind of similar shape. And I landed on the Factiom. Now, many of you know Factiom as a skate company. So they make skates. They're on their second kind of model right now where it's like a plastic shell. They make a variety of things, but I did not know that they made wheels. So looking into them, I noticed that they're smart like me and they really like the Super Bullet wheel. And they made 2 different wheels with that profile. So I contacted Clark to ask him mainly hey, are your wheels any good? Which is probably not something you want to ask a company because they should 99 out of 100 say yes. But they know that I'm really naggy and really picky about what I want to skate. So they generally, if they don't want that headache later, they'll answer me honestly. So after staring at the wheel and looking at the inside of the wheel and looking at the inside of my Super Bullet wheel, I kind of made the comparison that it might be the actual same wheel. So I decided to just give it a go. And not only that, for the price of $36.95 versus the price of a $59.99, I think I would want to save the $23 difference personally. So I gave it a go. I clicked out of the cart and I said, let's get it. So one being the price difference of $25 from, a set of white wheels that I actually want in comparison to a neon green or off-color blue. And I think that Undercover actually makes a generic Super Bullet wheel. But I believe a long time ago when I bought the Wish frame, so I had bought Famous outside wheels and I bought Undercover 59s on the inside. And I remember the Undercover's quality of those wheels were nothing near any of the other wheels I had skated, and they felt sluggish and slow, especially being in the middle of a flat rocker frame. So I didn't want to go that direction of buying the generic Undercover again because of that personal preference from before, or from that personal happening from before. So when I looked at these wheels, I noticed A, they're white, and A, they pretty much are the same core. So when I got them in, I looked at them and I'm looking at my old red one and I'm looking at that one closely and I'm just this is exactly the same thing. There's no way it's not. So I've been skating these wheels for at least a month now. Well, just under a month, I would say, because I think I got them at the very start of November, but I put them on and I've been skating 2 different setups, but I've been skating them at the same spots. So these have encountered a lot of terrain. They're kind of wearing similar to the Undercover wheels. They might be slightly faster wearing down, but that might just because I haven't rotated them yet. So the one thing that really separates Super Bullets for me is the speed aspect. So these wheels feel so much faster than every other wheel that I've ever skated. And that's something that is really kind of dear to my heart. Because if you can tell right here, you can see these barely roll at all. They have absolutely no roll whatsoever. But the fact that they give me so much speed when I'm just taking off and skating, these wheels just feel like I can cut on a dime in a way, to where it's similar to an ice skate, to where it's you can kind of cut and carve. But even my flat rocker setup right now, I feel like these just have a little bit more of a agility and a little bit more of a speed than other wheels. And I really think it's the pointiness of the wheel. It's a reason why rec wheels are so fast. They're nice and sharp and pointy. And I feel with rollerblade wheels, we try to push them a little too wide like a skateboard. And even Dead, when they went a little bit wider with their urethane a couple years ago, I feel that was a step back in a way where, yeah, sure, there's people out there do manuals and everything, but it slows down your skating and slugs you down, I feel so much, where with this, even with the anti-rocker, I'm flying, absolutely flying. And I said before, I really think these really wear down on flat spotting and chunking on the side of the wheels, because if you think about it, in a way, those wide wheels are unnatural. Like, they're unnatural for how we skate, because if you're pushing off like more of a flat surface, you're kind of like, you know, treading your foot, and like that's why your wheels chunking away. Whereas these is more of a, you're on a tight profile, which some people might not like, but for me, I absolutely enjoy it. And especially, like, I thought coming off the eulogies and like going back onto these, I would like have a little issue with stability and like not being used to like that edge and like landing with like kind of like a smaller I don't want to say like a smaller platform, I want to say, but that's not really where I'm going for. But immediately after putting on, it was just like, especially coming from eulogy wheels, because they were just like, they felt so sluggish compared to these. But like these were like Ferraris when you put them on, just like instantly, even with these old bearings, these were not brand new bearings, they're old, and just like I'm out, and just like that feeling put a smile on my face. And the benefits of them, like I said, they turn into regular wheels after you wear them down for so long anyway. Unless you really don't like the feeling of like standing a little bit skinnier, which actually makes your skating like in a way more controlled, because you're like more stand up on your feet, and you have to have more control of your feet, so you're not like sloppily putting your, you know, bowing your legs out like this so you can like fall and die. No more of that. I would say where I messed up was I should have ordered 8 of these so I could try them with a flat rocker setup as well, because the Super Bullet, as I said before, with the red wheels, they're absolutely phenomenal and probably the best option for flat rocker. The speed, the dynamics, the actual less wheel bite that you get from grinding because they're shaved off a little bit. I feel like it helps you in so many more ways than one, and I'm astonished that it's like every wheel company doesn't have like a similar shape with any of their wheel setups, because I was even flipping back and looking through like an old Team Paradise from 1997 and like laughing at how every wheel was like 56 millimeter under. There was like pro 53 millimeters, and there was very few 59 millimeters. And if they did say 59 millimeter, they were vert only. And it's just funny like how far we've come to where 59 millimeter and 60 millimeter like fully accepted as like, you know, pretty good on street, and even very good on flat rocker, because we have the frames now that are more advanced. But just gave me a chuckle to see, like, you know, there's rarely any 58 millimeter wheels, and they're all so small, and there were so many companies, and that's what really stood out. And I think a lot of them were good too. Like a very good handful of them were good, and it was just like wild to see that. But getting back to these wheels, I think for $36, but also it was $10 for shipping, so $46. So for that shipped, I would say it's still expensive for a set of wheels, especially most of us that like grew up in the 2000s that were paying like, you know, $35, $40. Obviously, inflation and import costs and tariffs have changed all that world to a different dynamic. So let's give a rating on the Factiom wheels right here. So far, for looks wise, it's a white wheel. It has a very generic graphic. I don't care about graphics too much, so that's a 10 out of 10. For price, it's $36.95 for a set of 4. When you compare that to the Undercover wheels that are $59.99 to $60 a set, I'm going to have to go with this, as it being a $25 price difference. Obviously, there's a shipping price, but there's also a shipping price if you order them from a skate shop. So, advantage there goes for this wheel. So, for that price, for basically half the price, yeah, sign me up. In terms of wear, I've been skating these for nearly a month now, and generally when I skate anti-rocker, I'm rotating these at least after the first session. I've yet to rotate these wheels at all, which is saying something about that, because I usually absolutely destroy wheels. So for wear, I'm going to say they're pretty much a 9 out of 10 so far. There's signs of wear, obviously, you can see. I'll show the picture of the daylight where you can see the rotatingness of it, where you can see the actual damage I've done to it. They have not flat spotted, they have not chunked. I don't have even any of those bubbles or, you know, those little dirt marks that like kind of all the wheels do. They don't roll very well, but I think that's mainly because of my bearings, so that's really on me. But they roll amazing, like when I'm actually just skating. Yeah, but I'm gonna have to really recommend these wheels. It's a shocker, because usually you see like a company that puts like their generic wheel on there. It's 9 out of 10. It's not good. Like 9 out of 10. It's never good. But these actually perform to a way higher standard than I thought they would. But it's also Clark knowing kind of what he does. He's been in the game for far too long. And it's funny that he actually uses profile, because I know he was probably like a very high believer in the face profile wheel, and that's kind of like what they were going for, but I think this is way better than the face profile wheel, so thank you. So yeah, I have not yet to check out his skates, but his wheels, I'm gonna have to give 2 thumbs up. $35.95, you can find them on his website. I'm pretty sure they have them at some local skate shops, but it's a very, 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 very good alternative to the Super Bowl wheel from Undercover. I wish I could support Joey Lungner and give him my money, but I have to go for the $25 price difference. Sorry, bud. Love you, though. Yeah, if you're in the market for a cheap anti-rocker wheel, if you like the bullet profile like me, if you want 59, just go on their website and buy it. But again, Super Bowl wheels, I think they're way better than the normal rounded wheels. From my liking, I mean, just look at this. Would you want this on your skate, or would you want like a nice shiny Super Bowl? You know, that's how you gotta ask yourself. It's like, I don't even know what happened to this wheel. Like, what is that? There's shavings coming off of it. I've never even seen that before. Like, come on, man. Some of the benefits of the Super Bowl, it obviously gives you more area to grind. I feel like it's way more faster than a normal wheel. And the cons of it, I feel like, would be if you're not really stable on your feet and you have bad ankles, these might be bad to land. I wouldn't jump a huge gap with these, but then again, I wouldn't really be too scared to try a huge gap with them. At first, I slipped out with them, but that was really with my old set, and now I was like so used to it that they kind of came natural to me when I put them on. So for me, I feel like this is the shift we really need to go for wheels from this point forward, or at least like have like companies like test out some new formulas to where this could work, because these are fantastic. So Factiom 5990s. If you have any other Super Bowl wheels you recommend, please leave one in the comment below. If you have any other wheels you want me to try or you want me to see destroy on this channel, please let me know below. I'm still trying out some daily rolling wheels. I'm about to put on actually the aluminum core version of those wheels on these bad boys, so I should be, you know, doing backflips out of quarter pipes. But, you know, catch on for that. Hopefully everybody had a good holiday, and hopefully everybody's still able to skate before it gets way too cold out. It's getting really brisk out here. It's like 30 degrees when it's in the morning, but it's time to layer up and do what we can before it gets a little too cold. Have you skated Super Bullets? Have you skated the Faction Super Bullets? So let me know in the comments, are you a Super Bullet or are you a round profile guy? Super Bullet or round? Let me know. Till next time, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell me why these soles still look so good on my skates. But until next time, thank you very much.